Okay, time for a new video, and whether you are somebody new to my channel or you are returning to my channel to watch this video, it is greatly appreciated. As always, I'm filming this video in one go, so it's possible I'll stumble over my words moving forwards, and apologies if there is any lag in this video as well. If the quality is not that great, sadly it cannot be helped, and hopefully it is not too much of an issue for you. This is yet another Eurovision related video here on my channel, specifically a Junior Eurovision related video, because in just a few days' time, the grand final of the 2023 edition of the Junior Eurovision Song Contest will be taking place in Nice in France, with 16 acts taking to the stage, and at the end of the show, of course, one winner, which will be determined thanks to an online vote where you can vote for your own nation if you wish, and jury votes too. And what I'm going to be doing in today's video is telling you my prediction for those results, which I'll make it clear now is not to be taken super seriously. Predictions are just a bit of fun. Of course, it's nice if you get some countries in the right position once the competition's over, but ultimately it's not to be taken terribly seriously. As always, you're very welcome to let me know your predictions in the comments below, or you can contact me via my other social media pages. Links in the description as always, take a look at them if you so wish. So, without further ado, let's get cracking. As I'm recording this video, I believe the opening ceremony of the competition is taking place in Nice, so I'm going to check at the end if we've had that little draw thing where we find out who's opening, who's closing the show, and where France will be the host nation in the running order at the end of the week. And I should also take this opportunity to say that it is absolutely my intention to film a reaction video to the results as they come in. So, how did I make this prediction? Well, in a very similar way to how I made my JESC prediction last year and the year before that and what have you, and how I make my adult Eurovision predictions as well. I take each entry, I listen to each entry, usually in a running order that I've put together myself, and I judge each song in various categories and give each song a mark out of 100 in those categories. What with this being the junior contest and we're dealing with children here, I have been very generous with my marks, so do take that into consideration. But the categories are as follows: vocals, staging, presence, odds, jury, online, and my take. So what do I mean by those categories? Well, vocals is very self-explanatory. Now, we haven't necessarily had a lot of live performances to go off with regards to these songs. So like I said, I've been very, very generous with my scores across the categories, in all honesty, and I really don't want to come across as a really sort of harsh individual who's being very critical of children's vocals. I don't want to be that sort of person, but you know, vocals do play a very small part, perhaps, in how well a song fares. It's probably the least important category here. As for the staging, well, I think that is important. We don't necessarily have a good idea as to how some performances will be staged, so really I'm just going off the vibes with that one. Again, very generous marks. Then we've got stage presence. So those acts that have come through a national final, how confident did they look on stage at that national final? Did their confidence shine through? Were they really owning the performance? That sort of thing. Then we have the odds. There are no odds really for Junior Eurovision because it's betting on a children's show, which is a bit dodgy. But we know, don't we, which countries are likely to push for the win and which countries aren't. So I've looked at people's rankings on YouTube and what have you and come up with a list there. Then we have how I think the juries will vote, how I think the online vote will go, and then if I was to make a very offhand prediction, that is the my take category. And then you work out the average score. So let's go through it. I'm not really going to talk about the songs in too much depth here because I did that in my previous video, which you are of course welcome to check out if you haven't already done so. So, with that being said, let's get cracking. The country that I think will finish in last place, 16th, with a score of 67.71, which I can tell you is higher than the country that I predicted to finish last year, and indeed the country that I predicted to finish last the last time Junior Eurovision was on French soil. It is Albania. This is Botaim by Viola Giselli. Here we have a song that is quite dramatic and quite powerful, and I think the revamp has really helped it stand out a little bit more, but I still think in the grand scheme of things this doesn't quite stand out enough. And I think the online vote mark isn't going to be too high. I think the juries will prefer other songs, other ballads. There's a lot of ballads this year. So I'm afraid to say it, but I think Albania could well struggle last place. Finishing in 15th place with a score of 70.14 is Portugal. This is Where I Belong by Julia Machado. Now, I really like this. I think this could be staged in a very beautiful manner. I think her vocals are very nice. I just think it's a very tender song. But unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be a great deal of hype here. What could help Portugal is that online vote. I've said this before. Portugal is a nation that has fared very well in the online vote over the past couple of contests. We had O Rapaz, and then last year we had that sort of rocky song, Anos 70 or whatever it was called, my apologies. They both did quite well in the online vote. So could it happen again this year? Potentially. Even if it does do quite well, the jury mark might still be quite disappointing. As such, 15th place for Portugal, but I'm hoping I'm wrong. In 14th place, with a score of 71.43, is Italy. This is Melissa and Rania with Un Mondo Giusto. This is quite a mature, quite polished, very accomplished, lovely song, no doubt about it. But again, very few people are talking about this one. Very few people seem to be hyped about this one. And it could be a really great performance, great vocals, great staging, the whole shebang. But the votes might still not pour in for this one. As such, the bottom three is a possibility here. Moving on to the country that I think will finish in... the country that I think will finish in 13th place with a score of 73, and I need to change this here, is Estonia. This is the debut entry from them. It is, of course, Hoiame Kokku by Arhana. This is a song about, you know, the power of having a good friend and things like that. Really great singer, loving the sort of power in her voice in the chorus. That's really good. I'm hoping for very dramatic staging, with the camera angles all working really nicely as well. This is a very accomplished debut, but again, I just don't see a lot of points pouring in for this one. It'll be interesting to see what the online mark is for Estonia, whether a lot of Estonians vote for their own singer, in the way that Poland vote for their own singer, perhaps. We'll wait and see. But yes, I really do like this song. I'd say it's one of my favourites of the year, absolutely. But it's not going to be a very high score, I don't think. Finishing in 12th place, also with a score of 73, so narrowly going ahead of Estonia because of certain scores in certain categories, it is Ireland. This is Aisling by Jessica McKean. I love this. I love how beautiful and ethereal it is. I love her sort of high voice. I like the music video. I like Sophie Lennon's connection with it. I just think that this is very traditional, very sweet, very uplifting. It's got this soaring melody. I think it's a very underrated track. I really do. I think some people are a little bit fed up with Ireland because they have tended to go for songs like this quite a bit in the past. At least it feels this way. But I think this is great. And hopefully it will do well. I'm just not expecting it to. Alas. We move on to the song that I think will finish 12th in this year's competition with a score of... Have I made a mistake here? Ireland... Hang on a minute, ladies and gentlemen. Albania 16th, Portugal 15th, Italy 14th, Ireland 13th, Estonia 13th, my apologies. What am I doing here? Estonia 13th, Ireland 12th, and in 11th place, yes, my word, I got confused with my own damn spreadsheet. In 11th place, with a score of 73.43, it is Ukraine. This is Kvitka by Anastasia Dimid. This is very charming, very bouncy, quite colourful. Super sweet stuff. I know I'm repeating myself here, but I spoke about these songs in my last video. I do like this. I think it's on the repetitive side. I think the jurors and the public will like this in equal measure. It's a bit of a dark horse. It could do a hell of a lot better than I'm expecting, but I'm looking at the other songs and I'm thinking they'll do better. It's as simple as that. 11th place for Ukraine. In 10th place, with a score of 73.71, it is Malta. This is Yulan with Stronger. This is a very fine ballad indeed. I said previously, I think this has a bit of a diva-ish quality to it. She's doing all of these vocal runs. Very impressive, her voice, it must be said. It's a very simple track, perhaps too simple. And look, the public never really seemed to give Malta the time of day, so I think there could be a very noticeable difference here in opinion between the jurors and the public, the online vote, for this Maltese track. I think the juries could love this. I really do. I could be wrong, as I was wrong with Kazakhstan last year, but I think the jury vote will be very much in Malta's favour. The online vote won't care less for this Maltese track, I'm afraid to say. So, slap bang in the middle of the table, really, when the results come in. And so Malta, there we go, finishing in 10th place. In 9th place, I have gone with a score of 74.86. It's Poland. This is Maya with I Just Need a Friend. Yes, this is a song that I sort of dismissed upon its selection, and then I listened to the revamp, sort of forgot about it, listened to it again very recently, liked it. Again, it's a fairly simple track, nothing truly original or groundbreaking going on here. Vocally, not too bad at all. Maybe it's not quite on the level as some previous Polish entries. We know that the Polish vote is going to be pretty generous, but even if it's pretty generous, I still don't think this is a challenger for victory. As such, 9th place. These scores are all very close now. In 8th place, with a score of 75.29, it is going to be Georgia. This is Anastasia and Ranina with Over the Sky. I'm not a huge fan of this one. I find it a distinctly average track, if I'm being completely honest. I know that sounds harsh, but this does nothing for me. I do forget about it. I think its message is pretty good. I think the harmonies are quite nice. Georgia usually do quite well. The staging could be interesting. I believe they've got a couple of gymnasts on stage with them. Make of that what you will. Yeah, I've got very little else to add about this one. I can see this finishing much higher, but I'm not sure it's winning material. We just have to wait and see. Finishing in 7th place with a score of 77.14. It is Germany. This is Fear with Erna Worte. This is a great track. It's been out for ages. I think she's got quite a bit of confidence to her. Obviously, she's got that sort of sign language thing going on, which I think is a nice touch. I think she's got a dancer with her on stage in Nice this weekend. Is that necessary? I don't know. You don't want the stage to feel too empty, especially if you've got a song like this, which is fairly mid-tempo. Hopefully the vocals will be very strong. Hopefully this song will have a good position in the running order. The stars will align. Absolutely, it is the strongest German Junior Eurovision entry to date. It deserves to do well. A lot of people like it. I think the jury vote and the online vote, you know, there'll be a good score there for this German track. Absolutely. Finishing in 6th place with a score of 80.86. It is North Macedonia. This is Kashimi Kashimi Koi by Tamara Gruevska. And as I said in my previous video, putting aside personal preference and all of that malarkey, this probably is the strongest song of the year, which means little because people will vote for whatever the hell they like. Here we have somebody who seems to be a very, very fine singer indeed. A very nice sort of Balkan ballad, fairly dramatic, stirring with the strings and everything. Nice music video. North Macedonia have had songs not too dissimilar to this one in the past, and they haven't always fared very well. The online vote is what could shoot this song's chances to pieces, because the jury vote, surely they will appreciate this. Top 6, top 5, maybe even top 3. That should happen. It should happen. The online vote, I don't know. We could have a situation. I don't think any of us should be surprised if this happens. We could have a situation where it's North Macedonia. There they are, top 3, cushy slot after the jury vote. And then the online vote marks come in. And now, North Macedonia, you have received 23 points. Crap. That's probably what's going to happen, though. I don't want it to happen. I like this song more every time I hear it, which certainly, given the type of song that it is, I say that's a fairly rare thing for me, because certainly over the years, ballads like this, Balkan ballads, whatever, I don't know, I always seem to just brush them to one side, which is the wrong thing to do, but I've been like that for a long time. But I've heard this song a few times now. I think it's really, really good. It deserves to do well. In all honesty, it should probably be winning. But come on, let's be a bit more realistic. We know that it's the same few countries every year that seem to do the business at Junior Eurovision. So for North Macedonia to break into that little group, I mean, like I said with Germany, the stars will have to align. Moving on, 5th place with a score of 81.57. It's the Netherlands. This is Seppen Yasmin with Holding On To You, the clubby pop bop of the year. Again, nothing truly spectacular. Certainly nothing terribly original going on with the melody or the beat here. Vocally seems okay. That national final performance, yes, just elevate that a touch over the weekend and away you go. This is my favourite song of the year. It's a very close run thing, but it is my favourite at the moment. Netherlands opened the show last year. Hopefully they won't this year. And the online vote, yes, this song could win the online vote as far as I'm concerned. The jurors, on the other hand, will probably be a bit more dismissive, but not too dismissive. Hence, in the end, a top 5 result for the Dutch this year, which I'd be very chuffed with. I have said previously, and I'll say it again now, I do think the Netherlands have underperformed quite a bit over the years. They've only won once in Junior Eurovision, which is outrageous because they've been there in every single contest. And last year, you know, should have fared a bit better, didn't happen. There's been a few other entries over the past few years for the Netherlands where, for whatever reason, the end result just hasn't been quite what we were perhaps all expecting. Could happen this year. Surely this has top 6 nailed on, but we wait and see. Finishing in 4th place with a score of 81.71, it is the United Kingdom. This is Stand Unique with Back to Life, the 3 girls, full of energy. They're so positive. They've done interviews. They've performed live on TV and sounded fairly good, in my opinion. The staging, expect it to be exactly the same as the music video, but just elevated a touch. The outfits, the same as well, probably. Yeah, I wish them well. You know, is this a stronger song than Lose My Head last year? Maybe not, but it's certainly not a bad song whatsoever. I've seen very mixed responses to this track. Some people like it, some people really aren't a fan. It is what it is, but there's no doubt. I'm not saying this because I'm British. I'm saying this because I believe it to be true. There is no doubt in my mind. This is one of the strongest songs of the year. It is one of the most polished tracks of the year. The drop into the chorus is a letdown. I've said that previously. But it's a very catchy song with the whistling, a bit of choreography. It's not too over the top. This could do very well indeed. And let's not forget, last year, the UK won the online vote, I believe. So could it happen again? You never know. Finishing in 3rd place with a score of 84, it's Armenia. This is Yan Girls with Do It My Way, very much in the K-pop style. I don't love this. I said previously, I actually got a little bit bored by this song when I listened to it on Spotify, which surprised me because it's quite an up-tempo track. It's very striking, the music video and everything. At the end, it becomes a bit frantic, sort of like this sugar rush to finish things off. We have, or hopefully we will have, pyro and flames and all of that malarkey. That would be very good. I think this is going to be executed in a very confident manner. Malena has co-written this. I'm sure she'll be there mentoring this group. So, you know, her influence will be very visible. I do wonder if this could be very messy, though. And that's not because of the girls, it's because of the song. You know, it's very, I don't know, this style of music, I'm not a big fan. But look at the lineup this year. Of course it's going to stand out by a mile, and the points will pour in. Whether the juries really love this, I don't know. Whether the online vote goes massive for this, I don't know. But this is a challenger for the win. Armenia doing the business again, possibly. That leaves two countries, and you know which two countries they are. France and Spain, finishing in second place with a score of 84.86. It is France. This is Zoe Clausure with Cœur. This is charming, sweet, simple, effective, cutesy, but not as cutesy as, say, the Ukraine entry, in my opinion. France just know what they're doing. They're very, very strong on songs that appeal to youngsters, I guess, because ever since they returned a few years ago, they have been consistently very, very impressive. This could win. Of course it could win. Lots of people are enjoying it. I don't know, again, like with the Polish entry, I don't know whether this French song is quite on the level of some previous French entries. I mean, this isn't J'imagine. This isn't even last year's winning entry. This just feels a little bit more pale in comparison, but still very good. Zoe is probably going to go on to have a fine career. Take a look at Carla, who represented France several years ago. She's doing very well for herself. So yeah, I think this is absolutely going to possibly walk the jury vote. The online vote will be key. It's going to be a very good mark. I don't think it should be a runaway winner. There shouldn't be a runaway winner at all this year, because it's a fairly open field between that core group of about 4 or 5 songs that could win. Any of them could do it. But yeah, part of me would be disappointed if France won again, because let's have somebody else. You know, France and Armenia, they do well every year. Let somebody else have a go. Hello, North Macedonia. We'll wait and see at the weekend, which means I've nothing else really to add about the French entry. I like it, but I'm not absolutely enamoured with it. If it wins, so be it. It's not a bad song. But that means that my winner, my predicted winner of Junior Eurovision 2023 is, with a score of 86.43, Spain. This is Love You by Sandra Valero, sorry. This is great. It's so catchy, and again, I use the same words. Charming, sweet, effective. It really is. Elevate that staging, tell a story with the staging, keep the camera, keep the audience engaged, work the camera, maybe have a couple of pyros near the end, get the crowd swept up in it, good place in the running order. If everything goes to plan, this is absolutely a serious challenger for the win. Spain have only won once. It's maybe time they won again. I like this more every time I hear it. It's nothing amazing, once again. It's a pretty simple song. But a lot of young people watching this, I think, are really going to enjoy it for 3 minutes, and enjoy it enough that they're going to want to vote for it. And I think older people like me, who are watching the contest, yeah, I might get swept up in it too, having a jolly old time. It's a very jaunty, bouncy, lovable sort of track. I think Sandra, hopefully she's going to have oodles of energy on stage. She's going to deliver the goods. Spain's the country to beat as far as I'm concerned. But it is really between 4 nations. Spain, France, Armenia, and the Netherlands. Maybe the UK at a push. Anyway, that's it. That's my prediction. So just to recap, bottom to top, Albania, Portugal, Italy, Estonia, Ireland, Ukraine, Malta, Poland, Georgia, Germany, North Macedonia, the Netherlands, the United Kingdom, Armenia, France, and Spain. And we will find out by the end of this week whether we will be heading to Spain 2024 or staying in France again 2024, or who knows, we could be going back to Armenia, we could be heading to my country, the United Kingdom, or, maybe even, Rotterdam 2024. We just have to wait and see. What a massive, long-winded ramble this video has been. But there we go. Just to finish off, I will tell you my current ranking of the songs. So bottom to top, Albania, Georgia, Ukraine, Italy, Portugal, Malta, Poland, Armenia, North Macedonia, Estonia, Germany, France, Ireland, the UK, Spain, and the Netherlands. That is my current ranking of the songs. North Macedonia is a bit low there, but then again, there's quite a lot of songs that I'm really enjoying this year. That Irish track, oh, that's fabulous. Fabulous stuff. Expect it to be underrated as all hell. Now, I am going to take a look at one more thing before this video is over. Thank heavens, I hear you say. The opening ceremony, I believe, is going on in Nice right now. Have we had that little draw to determine who's opening and closing the show? Possibly not. I think it's happening now. Certainly we'll find out very soon. It's very, very possible that we could have a ballad opening and closing. I'm just waiting for this to load up. Have we had anything? No, we haven't. Looking at this, no, we have not. So I was getting my hopes up there. But very soon we will know. Anyway, what does it say here? Opening ceremony. Yes, yes. It is happening soon. Anyway, that's it. I'll be back with another video at some point very soon, probably to do with the adult competition again. Do feel free, as I said earlier, to check out the links in the description to my other social media pages, including the Instagram page that I co-run with my friend Peter, rajc.esc. We've been posting a lot of wish list related posts on there. Check them out if you want to. And certainly, all being well, I will be back at the weekend to do a reaction video to the results of this year's junior competition. Let me know your thoughts on anything to do with it, and I'll be back soon. Hopefully the quality wasn't too bad. Take care of yourselves, stay safe, and bye for now.